Good people. Brigadier Bongan Nicholas Gininda has confirmed that they have no interest to arrest Longwe Twala, but they do have an interest to look to Khumalo. So Khumalo could be arrested. We don't know at this particular juncture why is she not, or why is it quiet about that. But we do have the confirmation as of me speaking to you, and I'm about to insert a video, and in this video you will hear under cross-examination by Advocate Mnisi. Most Brigadier Gininda loves explaining. So as he was explaining, he then tells us that they have an interest to Kumalo, but not Ulongwe Twala. I will insert that video. Guys, I don't know, let me be honest, ne? I know somehow Nama can tell I'm not sounding, or I don't sound the same. It is because there are some bad news that I've received this morning of the 26th of June 2025 from the social workers. A very disturbing one. I'm hurt. That's the truth. However, I can't tell you exactly what is happening because I'm waiting for Monday. Then whatever shall be said by the court on Monday, then that's when I can now tell you the full story, what is happening. But I can confirm that there's been a lot of things that I've been dealing with behind the scenes. And it is part of that, and it is directly affecting me. But you will get it when I explain. Just give me time. But know that we distract with this, let me do this so as a way of distracting. Nonetheless, let's go back to, thank you for the comments, especially on the previous video. Nonetheless, you get the sense that we have a challenge here trying to figure out or understand, for that matter, why were they not arrested from the beginning? Why, if they still have interest on Kumalo, why was she not arrested then? But let me cook on this one. Allow me to elaborate. I will elaborate. Just give me a moment. I want you to listen to this video attentively. After this video, then I will come back. Take a look at this.
Kumalo is a person of interest, not so?
I may have used that name, my lord, yes.
With regard to Mr. Mnube, that is beyond reproach because he's here at court. He's actually beyond being called a person of interest, not so. He's an accused.
That is correct, my lord.
Now, by virtue of the fact that there is that bag of money, same bag of money that was found in Kelly's phone, accused number 3's phone, and Longwe's phone, does that then make Longwe Twala also a person of interest?
No, my lord. So perhaps to answer straight correctly, the answer is no.
Thank
but
you.
Then, if I can have an indulgence to explain the difference between this bag of money, because if you take it in isolation, yes, it raises questions, suspicions based on the fact that you know where you find it. But I don't think that in isolation, my lord, and I wanted to go there after I give the opportunity to the interpreter to interpret that. You cannot now make a person, or focus on a person as a person of interest solely because of one bag or one piece of evidence. When it comes to Ms. Kelly Kumalo, and I've testified about this, there are a number of things that came up that seems to point to her as being the trigger point. And that is why I then said she was then viewed, insofar as the investigation is concerned, as a person of interest, and subsequently the application for the J50, my lord. But it was a collective of things, not just one bag of money. Bag was there. Issues of the cell phones, we dealt with it without taking the court backward. So it was collective of a number of evidence that was collected, pointing to things that seems to be not proper, my lord, which is then different when you come to Mr. Longwetwala insofar as the bag of money is concerned. But I'm not saying it did not raise concerns or questions as to why this bag that is found in these two other gadgets is also found with him.
Okay. So, with that being said, the question that you've got to ask is, it shall be remembered that Brigadier Gininda, when asked about that, do you remember his response? His response was, the reason they did not arrest Kelly Khumalo with or along the accused was simply because the prosecutor, because Gininda says it was a prosecutorial led investigation. So the reason they did not arrest Kelly Kumalo is because the prosecutors felt that they needed more evidence, more investigations needed to be done. That's why the warrant of arrest, which according to Gininda, he wanted Kelly Khumalo to get arrested. That's why that warrant of arrest did not or was not approved. So that was by a way of background. Then you have to ask the following question. Have they gotten any evidence that seeks to suggest that she can now be prosecuted? Let that sink in for a moment. Listening to Brigadier Gininda saying Kelly Khumalo is the person of interest, I am asking myself a question. Does that mean that they have gotten more evidence after the beginning of the Senzo trial? Let me also remind you, do you remember why? Oh, do you remember what? There was a letter that was read by Advocate Mshololo about the NDPP, whether or not they are going to arrest the people in the house. Do you still remember what it said? Okay, I'm going to insert that video here as well. You will watch that video. But what I want you to remember very well, and I want this to stick to your mind, is that there was lack of evidence, or they needed more evidence to prosecute Kelly Khumalo. Then, what has changed now? Do they have evidence to prosecute her now? That's, I think, a fair question to ask. Again, why Longwetwala seemed not to be a person of interest, whereas she was in that house? Whereas, do you remember the AVL that was telling us about Longwetwala, telling us that Longwetwala was driving around at a speed somewhere around 20. He was driving very slow, around 4 slow 40 to 20 to 40, yeah. Just remember that. So we've got those records, AVL record, telling us that Longwetwala was busy driving around, if you remember vividly. So then ask yourself this question. What has changed? What happened to all those records? Me, myself, I don't know what has changed. Because seemingly for me, Longwetwala must be part and parcel of everything that is happening. But I also know that you should be part and parcel of everything that is happening. Hence, I thought to myself, let me go find the video where we spoke about Longo Twala. And if I find the video, I will insert this video here.
Mr. Madlala, there is a letter, my lord, in terms of Exhibit Q, from the Director of Public Prosecutions in Gauteng, referring to the Force Lawyers Case 375/1 of 2019. That letter confirms the docket that was opened against you, as well as all other people who were inside the house.
Yabona ke kukhona ke ilokho njani docket okanye incwadi qinisekisa ke ukuthi khona idocket evuliwe maqondana nawe nabanye abantu abebekhona endlini eqhamuka kuyo ke i-DPP Gauteng ye case number leyo 67501 ya 2019. Yakuzwa no?
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
Yes, I hear that.
This docket, this letter confirms that, and also in paragraph 3 of this letter, I'm going to read that paragraph 3. You can also have a look at that paragraph if you can be able to see paragraph 3.
Yeah, ngiyabona.
Okay, but I will also read it. It says, in light of the fact that decisions in Force Lawyers Case 375/1 2019 depends on the credibility findings by the trial court in the current trial involving Force Lawyers Case 636/10/2014, I have therefore decided that the decision in Force Lawyers Case 375/1 2019 will be made at the conclusion of the concurrent trial.
Manje ke uyabona lokho ke ukuthi uma sesibheke le qiniso lokuthi kukhona nje isinqumo ekwafanele ukuthi sithathwe khona lapha mayelana nale case leyana yase Force Lawyers Case 375/1 2019. Kanti ke leso sinqumo sinike ekutheni le nkantolo lena ke esebhizi ngayo okwamanje ukuthi ifinyelela ziphi inqumo mayelana ke naleli cala elimayelana ke necase 636/10/2014. Ngaleyo ndlela ke ngithathe isinqumo sokuthi le case leyana ke case number 375/1/2019 izokwazi ke ukuthi kuthathwe isinqumo ngayo mayelana ke naleli cala eliqulwa manje.
Ngisakwazi ukulinda ukuthi ngifike le docket. Sengijahile.
Now I cannot wait for that particular docket.
Okay, but you understand what is said there?
Uyakuzwa lokho khulumekayo lapho. Yes.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
In other words, it says the Director of Public Prosecution has not declined to prosecute yet, to prosecute you in particular yet, is still waiting.
Manje amanye amazwi ulindile, usalindile nje lo okuyena umqondisi obushushisi, kanti ke akaqekeli phansi lokho ukuthi ashushise ukuthi uzoshushiswa ke nawe. Uma eshushisa uyashushiswa nawe. Ngiyakuzwa lokho.
Ngikuzwa kahle kamhlophe lo.
I hear
Ngilinde khona.
quite clearly.
Okay.
I'm waiting for that.
Okay.
Now, other than that, give me your thoughts and your opinion. Do you honestly think that they do have an intention to arrest Kelly Kumalo? Do you honestly think that? Me, I don't think so. You know why? You must have listened to many lawyers describing what is happening on that Senzo Meyiwa trial. They will tell you that you could be subpoenaed to appear with the accused, even if you are not in the, in prison. You are not out on bail, but you can attend court by purely subpoena. That you could find, scroll down on my YouTube channel, find an interview I did with Attorney Toban. He explains that. With that being said, please tell me this. If all of those avenues were available, how is it that even today, all of that has not been explored? They are just telling us that she's still a person of interest. What if, I'm just saying, what if she is just a person of interest? Nothing more, nothing less. What if, I'm just saying, what if she's just a person of interest? Remember, right now they can feel the public pressure and all the stuff, but what will happen? I'm wondering, and today, guys, I'm not the same. I'm not the same as I'm trying. No, please do understand. But yeah. Life. But yeah, man, yeah. Let's look at what is happening, and we shall follow. We shall see. Uguti, do they really have the interest to get somebody arrested? I doubt it. This case is super annoying. Like, honestly, super annoying when you look at some of the things that are happening in this case. It's just super annoying. But nonetheless, let's leave it here. I will see you guys on the next episode. But until that next episode, good people, please take care.